Hi guys, JT here, and today I'm bringing you some information on 10 games in Fanatical's Special Editions bundle of September 2025. To help you answer the question, should you buy it? By using the links in the description below, you'll gain access to this bundle and support the channel in the process. Before I begin, I'd like to thank you, the viewers, for watching my silly videos. I hope they're helpful. Most importantly, knowing that you're watching it means the world. Anyway, let's get into this. At number 1 we have Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2, a tactical sniper-focused FPS. You play as Raven, an assassin hired to take out a group of people in the Middle East who look to destabilize the global economy. You'll be dropped onto a map with several locations and multiple objectives. You're to scope out each area, find various targets and objectives, plan your route towards them, and execute with silent precision. Objectives include assassinations, rescue missions, sabotaging equipment, among others. You can approach each objective in any order. When you're spotted, enemies will converge on your location, but thankfully, close-range combat is just as fun as long-range. Enemy AI can be a bit inconsistent, like sometimes they will notice you from afar, while other times they won't even notice when their friend has just had their brains blown off. You can customize your loadout with different snipers that you can buy, various attachments, sidearms, and gadgets like frag grenades, drones, turrets, among others. Even though each mission can be completed without the fancy gadgets, it does give you the freedom to choose how you want to play. This game will demand your patience and critical thinking to kill your next target. At number 2 we have Wolfenstein the 2-Pack, a pack of 2 thrilling shooters that dive deep into alternate history, Wolfenstein the New Order and Wolfenstein the Old Blood. Both games immerse you in Nazi-dominated worlds, but each offers a unique twist on the classic first-person shooter formula. The New Order reimagines a world where the Nazis won World War II, blending exceptional storytelling with brutal action. Set in 1960, you step into the boots of an older, battle-hardened BJ Blazkowicz. The story excels, driven by well-written characters and deeply polished cutscenes. The game's fluid combat feels satisfying, with a variety of weapons and alternate history tech like laser rifles. While the stealth mechanics and skill progression add depth, occasional texture pop-ins and cumbersome item collection can break immersion. Still, the game's exploration of a hauntingly believable Nazi future makes it a standout in the shooter genre. The Old Blood, a standalone prequel, shifts the tone to an intense, combat-heavy experience. Set in the late 40s, it ditches the nuanced storytelling of its predecessor in favor of relentless action and over-the-top Nazi zombie carnage. The stealth puzzles provide some strategic moments, but the latter half's zombie-filled chaos feels like a step back in innovation. Despite that, the arenas are engaging, offering plenty of opportunities for creative gunplay, even if none of the weapons truly stand out. However, much like the New Order, the clunky item collection process and predictable enemy types can feel tedious. In the end, the Wolfenstein 2-Pack is a thrilling ride that balances heartfelt moments with blood-soaked action, even if the Old Blood sacrifices some of the heart found in the New Order. At number 3 we have The Evil Within Bundle, a grueling survival horror game that pushes you into a terrifying world where death lurks around every corner. Directed by Shinji Mikami, the creator of Resident Evil 4, this game takes a survival horror formula and makes it even darker and more challenging. You play as Detective Sebastian Castellanos, who is investigating a series of gruesome murders at Beacon Mental Hospital, only to be pulled into a twisted nightmare. The enemies you face are horrifying, grotesque creatures that seem designed to haunt your nightmares. Every encounter feels like a desperate struggle, as the game limits your resources and stamina, forcing you to choose carefully between fighting or fleeing. Ammo is scarce, and health items are even rarer, making every decision feel high stakes. Combat is both satisfying and nerve-wracking, with a limited but well-balanced arsenal, including a pistol, shotgun, and crossbow. Stealth is another option, but the AI is sharp, making it difficult to remain unseen. Meanwhile, the game's environments are eerie, with grimy, claustrophobic corridors and distorted, grotesque visuals that feel alive with menace. Lighting and sound design play a huge role in building tension, making every shadow feel like it's hiding something sinister. This bundle not only includes The Evil Within, but also 3 essential DLCs. The Assignment and the Consequence follow Julie Kidman, Sebastian's mysterious partner, offering new storylines, enemies, and challenges. In contrast, The Executioner lets you play as the terrifying Keeper, switching to a first-person perspective and focusing on brutal melee combat. Though the story becomes overly ambitious and a bit unfocused towards the end, the intense atmosphere, strategic combat, and gripping survival elements more than make up for its narrative flaws. The game excels in keeping you on edge, ensuring your heart is racing and your nerves are constantly tested. If you're a fan of survival horror and looking for an adrenaline-pumping experience, The Evil Within and its DLCs deliver a chilling, pulse-pounding journey that will stick with you long after the credits roll. And I just gotta quote Joseph Oda, "Omae cross!" And number 4 we have Frostpunk, Game of the Year Edition. A gripping city-building survival strategy game set in the frozen Arctic wasteland. As the ruler of a struggling city, you must manage resources, handle crises, and make tough decisions to ensure the survival of your citizens. The game combines city-building elements with society simulation and crisis management mechanics, creating a tense and challenging experience. In the desolate 1800s world of Frostpunk, your city relies on a massive coal furnace for warmth. You'll construct buildings, gather resources, and research new technologies to keep your citizens alive in the freezing conditions. Every decision matters, as discontent and hope levels significantly impact your city's well-being. You'll face moral dilemmas, like choosing between short-term fixes and long-term solutions, or passing laws that may have adverse consequences. Frostpunk excels at immersing players in the burden of leadership. The game constantly challenges your abilities as a leader, making you weigh the needs of your citizens against harsh realities. The society simulator aspect adds depth, with the option to rule with order and discipline, or faith and spirituality, each choice affecting the people's morale. Scouting the frozen world beyond your city brings new challenges and discoveries, but it also means more responsibilities and resources needed. The game's art design and style create a captivating and grim atmosphere, depicting the struggles of a frozen world. While Frostpunk offers great replayability with different scenarios and choices, the campaign itself lasts about 45 days. The game's bird's-eye view perspective, however, prevents players from connecting closely with individual citizens, which may be a drawback for some. Overall, Frostpunk is a compelling and addictive survival management game that forces players to confront difficult choices and challenges. Its extraordinary style, engrossing gameplay, and tense atmosphere make it a standout title in the city-building and strategy genre. The Game of the Year Edition offers a trio of expansions that enrich the Frostpunk universe. The Rifts is the initial mini-expansion, featuring a new endless mode map and the constructible building, The Bridge. The Last Autumn expands the game significantly with a new scenario, introducing transformative mechanics and unique architecture that deepen Frostpunk's lore and narrative. And lastly, On the Edge delves into the tale of new London citizens dispatched on a crucial mission following the Great Storm. And number 5 we have Police Stories Complete Edition, a tactical top-down shooter where you think before you shoot. As John Rhimes and Rick Jones, you'll clear rooms, rescue hostages, and defuse bombs, but trigger-happy play gets you penalized. Each mission is randomized, so suspects, civilians, and evidence shift every run, keeping you alert. You can fire warning shots, throw flashbangs, or use melee to force surrenders, earning higher scores than going in guns blazing. Every decision is judged in real time, and doing the job by the book unlocks further missions. The gritty pixel art style and tense sound design heighten the atmosphere, while co-op mode turns each breach into a thrilling test of teamwork. The supporter pack adds fun extras, the full soundtrack, a digital art book, and 2 quirky in-game items. The trumpet lets you distract or inspire characters, while donuts restore vitality mid-mission, making encounters more versatile. The Zombie Case DLC is a wild twist, introducing 5 new missions packed with undead threats. Zombies ignore the surrender system, forcing you to adapt your tactics. New tools like the gas cannon and electroshock weapon gives you creative ways to survive, and the added challenge ramps up the tension even further. While the AI partner can still make mistakes and the campaign remains short, the Complete Edition offers the most content-rich way to play police stories. If you want tactical intensity with a side of horror and extra variety, this is the best version to grab. At number 6 we have Children of Morta Complete Edition, an action RPG with roguelike elements. In this game, you step into the shoes of the Bergson family, a diverse group of warriors, mages, and inventors, united against the encroaching corruption threatening their homeland. This dungeon-crawling adventure isn't just about vanquishing foes and leveling up. It's a captivating exploration of family bonds and what they mean in the face of adversity. The game combines satisfying combat mechanics with heartfelt storytelling, creating an immersive experience. As you journey through dungeons, murdering hordes of enemies, you'll grow attached to the Bergson family through cutscenes and interactions. Each character has their own unique abilities, and swapping between them is necessary to prevent corruption fatigue, adding depth to the gameplay.
While the combat isn't overly complex, it's immensely enjoyable thanks to fluid animations and strategic possibilities as you level up. Dungeon exploration keeps things fresh with procedurally generated levels, though occasionally complex pathways to the exit can be frustrating. The family-focused narrative, beautiful pixel art, and charming animations make the Bergsons endearing. You'll invest emotionally in their journey, making the grind-heavy gameplay worthwhile. The game encourages you to experiment with different characters and strategies, making you a better player and offering a sense of achievement. Despite occasional grind fatigue, Children of Morta remains engaging, with a diverse array of buffs, subquests, and narrative elements to discover. Playing in co-op is an option, but solo play better emphasizes the game's storytelling and mechanics. Overall, Children of Morta excels in blending compelling characters with satisfying gameplay, creating a memorable adventure that's well worth experiencing.
The Complete Edition includes the base game with all updates, family trials, new difficulty settings, new Game Plus mode, a new character Apan, and item packs. It also features Ancient Spirits DLC with Yajuj Majuj, Paws and Claws DLC with an animal shelter system, and Family Fireside Fables with 6 narrated tales. At number 7 we have Moonlighter Complete Edition.
A unique blend of shop simulation and roguelike dungeon crawling, reminiscent of the 2010 indie game Racketeer. The game centers around Will, who balances his role as a shopkeeper during the day with his nighttime adventures into procedurally generated dungeons. The protagonist's aim is to unlock the 5th dungeon door in his hometown by defeating bosses and collecting keys from monsters. Each day involves alternating between exploring dungeons and managing the shop. The combat in the game strikes a balance between swift and controlled, requiring players to strategically engage enemies. Despite its hard difficulty label, the forgiving death penalties prevent significant setbacks. The dungeons are 3 floors deep, culminating in a boss fight that offers a modest challenge. One of the game's standout features is its inventory management system. With limited bag space, players must prioritize valuable items and contend with various item curses that impact their arrangement. Back in the town of Renoka, players can invest gold to bring in different merchants, upgrade equipment, and engage in shop management. The pricing mechanic offers a simple but satisfying challenge. Moonlighter is designed for completion rather than mastery, making it an accessible and enjoyable experience for players who appreciate the roguelike flavor without the commitment of extensive gameplay. The game successfully blends elements of both genres, providing a refreshing take on a dungeon crawling and shop simulation. Although it doesn't aim to redefine these genres, Moonlighter offers a unique and engaging experience that strikes a balance between casual and captivating gameplay.
The Complete Edition includes the Between Dimensions DLC, the largest expansion for Moonlighter, adding a new interdimensional dungeon, weapons, armor, rings, and shop upgrades. It builds on the base game's formula, but introduces significant grind-heavy mechanics. While new enemies and mini-bosses offer challenges, many are recycled from the original game, with inflated health and damage, making progression frustrating at times. Resource scarcity often forces repeated runs, disrupting the pacing. The bartering system and new NPC provide slight variety, but the lack of meaningful upgrades and repetitive boss fights detract from the experience. If you loved Moonlighter, this DLC adds content, but temper your expectations. At number 8 we have Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl Complete Universe Pack, a pack that combines the fast-paced platform fighting of the base game with additional content that expands its roster and stage selection. If you're into Nickelodeon nostalgia, chaotic multiplayer fun, or competitive play, this package is a compelling option. The base game is the love letter to Nickelodeon fans, offering a Smash Bros. Style platform fighter with a surprisingly technical edge. Unlike Smash's more accessible pacing, All-Star Brawl opts for a lightning-fast tempo reminiscent of Melee. You'll find advanced mechanics like air dashing and wave dashing baked into its DNA, giving matches a sense of depth and unpredictability. The roster of 20 characters spans decades, from Rugrats' Reptar to Avatar's Aang, offering a mix of powerhouses and combo-heavy fighters. Despite strengths, the game lacks polish. The visuals and audio, with generic music featured, undermines the charm of its Nickelodeon theme. The absence of alternate costumes makes multiplayer matches chaotic when the same character is selected. The Universe Pack DLC builds on this foundation by adding fan-favorite characters Jenny Wakeman, Hugh Neutron, and Rocco. Each fighter comes with a unique stage and alternate costume, finally addressing one of the base game's weaknesses. Jenny is a standout with fluid animations and a quirky, engaging moveset, while Hugh and Rocco continue this trend. Their inclusion feels like a response to fan demands, proving the developers' commitment to their community. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawler Complete Universe Pack is an imperfect yet endearing brawler. While it's no Smash Ultimate, it thrives as a unique, chaotic fighter with plenty of Nickelodeon nostalgia. And number 9 we have Variety Quad Pack, a collection of 4 different indie games bundled together as you try multiple flavors of RPG, strategy, action, all in one go. It includes Koromon, Dark Deity, Mercury Fallen, and Sands of Aura. Here's how each holds up, and whether the bundle is worth your time. Koromon. You'll find Koromon is essentially a monster-catching RPG that wears its inspirations with pride, notably Pokemon. It has over 100 creatures to capture, a potential stat system, standard, potent, or perfect, that gives you bonus growth depending on your monster's potential level, and skill switching and customization that keeps battles varied. The art is charming, the animations, especially when creatures use big moves, are well done. The weakness though is that once you finish the 20 to 25 hour campaign, there isn't a ton to pull you back in. Dark Deity. If you like strategy RPGs, Dark Deity delivers. You'll get a big cast, many class and upgrade options, tactical battles where positioning, weapon types versus armor, and unit bonds matter. Characters are likable and there's good dialogue, but its story is very standard fantasy fare, and the UI, performance, and some balancing are uneven. Also, loading times and some awkward menus drag things down. Mercury Fallen. This one shifts the focus away from combat to colony management. You wake up in a ruined underground facility on an alien world. You rebuild, manage colonists and robots, expand, explore, and try to survive. The setting has atmosphere and there's satisfying work in growth and resource management. The downsides are that parts feel underfinished or light on content, especially late game balancing is a concern. If you don't move fast enough early, you can get stuck behind difficult resource or production bottlenecks. Sands of Aura. You take on the role of a random knight in a world turned to sand, sailing between ruins, exploring islands, fighting corrupted creatures, crafting, and trying to survive both the landscape and bosses. The visual style is strong, the world is atmospheric, the combat is challenging, but with enough polish to make it fun. The weak points though are that the story sometimes lack clarity. Quest systems can be vague or confusing, and certain mechanics like blocking, dodging, or using tools feel inconsistent. If you like variety and don't mind dipping into different systems, the Variety Quad Pack is a solid buy. Koromon and Dark Deity offer more traditional RPG strategy fun. Mercury Fallen gives a more relaxed builder management pace, and Sands of Aura injects action and ambiance. The weakest parts tend to be vague quests, balancing issues, and spots where polish could be tighter, but you'll likely get good value overall. There's enough content across these 4 titles that if one game doesn't grab you, another probably will. And number 5 we have This War of Mine, Complete Edition. In This War of Mine, you're thrust into the harsh reality of survival amid conflict. Developed by 11-bit studios, this game presents a grueling blend of life simulation and 2D stealth action, influenced by experiences from war-torn countries and titles like Mark of the Ninja. As you navigate through the game's mechanics, you'll find yourself facing the stark truth that in modern warfare, death can come swiftly and for no justifiable reason. The gameplay unfolds in 2 phases each day: daylight, where snipers confine characters to a dilapidated building, and nighttime, when one character ventures out to scavenge while the others rest or stand guard. Locations range from abandoned shelters to hospitals, each presenting its own risks and rewards. The scavenging phase, reminiscent of Mark of the Ninja, instills a sense of tension as you navigate through the fog, wary of potential threats lurking in the shadows. Your characters are fragile, and resources are scarce, amplifying the feeling of desperation and the suffocating struggle for survival. Morality and bartering systems remain indifferent to your plight, often leaving you with heart-wrenching decisions and their consequences. Goals like developing essential systems become distant dreams as you focus on surviving each passing day. This War of Mine is a thematically rich experience, but its unyielding difficulty and grim atmosphere may not be for everyone. However, for those willing to confront the harsh realities of war and the human spirit's resilience in the face of adversity, it's a poignant and unforgettable experience. The complete edition includes the base game, Anniversary Edition content with new characters, locations, and endings, the Little Ones DLC exploring survival through a child's eyes, and the Stories Season Pass, featuring 3 emotional tales: The Father's Promise, The Last Broadcast, and Fading Embers. Each adds a unique perspective to the harrowing reality of war, making this a deeply immersive and thought-provoking experience. And that's all for this bundle. This bundle is a mixed bag, but is easily one of the more tempting offers to this bundle fest. You get The Evil Within with DLC, Frostpunk Game of the Year, and a handful of solid indies, but don't expect The Evil Within 2. It is not here. Steam's version isn't the best, but it's still worth grabbing if you want creepy survival horror at a bargain. If you're hunting value, this pack has enough bangers to justify the pickup. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if this video was helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe consider buying the channel a coffee. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.